Hello there everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Elliot Webber and today I can finally say for the first time since October it is race week for the 2023 British Touring Car Championship season, and oh boy am I excited. Of course there's less cars this year, less teams unfortunately, but I am very sure we will have the same amount of action as we do every year in BTCC. So it's that time of the season again. I think it's the third time I've done this now, where we talk about a preview for ahead of this weekend's first three races at Donington Park. And this first one is going to be the big question. I'm going to start this off with the big question. Is it Jake Hill's time to become British Touring Car Champion? So let's get straight into this. Yes, guys, that is right. We're going to be talking about Jake Hill this time around, because last year I made the video about Tom Ingram winning the championship because I said he was my personal pick. And well, what happened? He ended up winning it. So yeah, and the reason why I'm doing it about Jake Hill is because, well, like the Tom Ingram one, Jake Hill is my personal pick for this year's championship. I think this year he is going to do it. I think he finally does have what it takes to become champion, and I'm going to talk about it. First off, straight away, he's back at Team BMW. He's back with WSR, of course, under the Laser Tools Racing with MB Motorsport, of course. He's no longer sponsored by Rocket. He's now got Laser Tools Racing, who, of course, have left as a team, but they are still around, of course, as a sponsor. Of course, Aidan Moffat is not there. He's now at One Motorsport in the Honda with Josh Cook and Will Powell. So for Jake Hill, what does it mean for Jake to be back at BMW for a second year? First of all, consistency, continuity is a big thing in BTCC, and it is probably better off to stay at a team you're at rather than move to a new one. Of course, for some people, it's helped moving teams. Look at Tom Ingram, who left Toyota to accelerate, and he ended up becoming a champion. Ash Sutton. We are yet to see if that will work out, but of course Ash left Laser Tools, is now at Napa, finished runner-up last year, so maybe that has worked out for Ash. But for Jake, when he got announced at the end of 2021 that he'd be moving to Team BMW, everyone went, yeah, that's a championship contender right there. And I think Jake staying will... Basically, what I'm trying to say is Jake staying at BMW will give him, once again, a more concrete chance of him competing for the championship. Of course, he did that last year. I think not a lot of people expected it, but Jake was absolutely phenomenal last year. The Goodyear, I can't remember what it's called, but he won the qualifying award last year, so he was effectively the best qualifier last year, and I think Jake in rear-wheel drive is just as good, if not better, than he is when he was in front-wheel drive. Of course, this is the first time he's been in a rear-wheel drive car full-time. He had a few outings in an Audi A4 with Rob Austin Racing, but the majority of his career has been front-wheel drive so far. Of course, he's driven Ford Focuses, Honda Civics, Toyotas. They've all been front-wheel drive, and I think Jake is entering his element, and I think he's entering his prime by going with BMW and sticking with BMW, and of course with Mark Blundell Motorsport. I think what Mark has done for Jake in his career has been phenomenal, and I do think Mark Blundell does also deserve some credit, because he has managed Jake for a few years now, and I think he's put Jake in the best seats possible for Jake to become a champion, and I think Jake is in the best seat possible now to win a championship. Of course, I'm not going to say the amount of drivers that have won with WSR, because it isn't a lot. Of course, Colin Turkington, the most successful driver for WSR in recent years, the four-time champion. And you have to look at last year with Jake and Colin. Jake came into that team. Of course, it's not called Team BMW Jake's side, but it is run and set up by WSR. It is the WSR team. Jake and Colin are teammates, despite different looking cars and a different team, but they are teammates. And I think Jake came into that team and went, Colin, you ain't the best driver anymore, effectively. Of course, Colin now is getting on the older side. I think this year, Colin is the last of the old guard of drivers, with, of course, no McNeil, no Plato, no Shedden this year. So Colin is the last of the old guard, and Jake is one of those drivers with Ash Sutton, with I think George Gamble and Ricky Collard as well could be put in that. Jake is one of those the next generation of touring car drivers. I think for now it's him and Ash Sutton as the next generation of touring car drivers that are coming through. I think Jake is one of those drivers who will be here for a long time as well, and I think 100% him sticking at Team BMW. I think once again he's going to be the best Team BMW driver. I think he's 100% beating Jelly and Morgan. No disrespect to Stephen or Adam. Of course, Stephen, we know, phenomenal driver, but of course Stephen is not a championship level driver. Adam Morgan, we're yet to see what he can do in an now factory built BMW car. So yeah, Adam's going to be a bit of an unknown, but I do think Adam's going to win some races this year. As for Colin, of course he's going to win races. Like, of course he is. I see Snetterton and Croft is where Colin will be very successful. I think those will be his two best rounds. But Jake, 100% he's going to be in his element this year. I think I will not be surprised if Jake wins a race at Donington. I won't be surprised if he wins the season opener. In fact, do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to predict Jake Hill to get pole and win the first race of 2023. Maybe a bold prediction, but maybe not. Jake last year was probably the best driver at Donington last year. Of course, in race 1 it was a P3, but an unfortunate disqualification, and then Jake Hill in race 3 got reverse grid pole and just made mincemeat of everyone. So consistency is key for Jake, and I think as well him staying at the same team in the same car, he will make less mistakes than he did last year, because there were a ton of mistakes that Jake made. I think that one of the biggest ones was Brands Hatch, the first Brands Hatch round. I think it was race 2 where he was fighting for the win and he spun fighting Josh Cook. I think that race is one race that cost him, and I think dearly, because if you think about it, when he spun, he was in second. You get 17 points for finishing P2, and Jake was about 14 points off of the championship at the end of the season. I think it was 14 points, but correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, if you finish 14 points behind the champion and you bottle 17 points in one race, you've effectively lost 3 points. Technically, you're 3 points off from winning the championship. But 100% Jake Hill will continue to... He will continue improving, and I think again a second year will be phenomenal for him. And yeah, a short video just explaining why I think Jake will become British Touring Car Champion this year. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your predictions for Jake Hill in 2023? Will it be another 3rd place? Will it be runner-up this year? Or will you join me in predicting Jake Hill to become 2023 British Touring Car Champion? Of course, this is the first of my preview videos, but I will have 3 more coming Wednesday, Thursday and Friday this week, uploading Monday to Friday. Who would have thought? So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, if you are new around here, be sure to like this video, share with your mates as well, because it of course does help my channel grow, and of course click that red subscribe button, because we are firmly on the road to 200 subscribers. We are currently on 161, I believe, so we are just 39, can do maths now, we are just 39 subscribers away from 200, so please get subscribing. I want 200 subscribers by the summer break. So yeah, get subscribing. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.